Hello and welcome back to Eden's Reach. It has been, nearly 2 years since the last build? So yeah, it's been a while. So let me try to remember what happened. I believe that Adrian, which is a main character, Oswald, I think his name is, it's Oswald, the brown wolf that's right here with him. And I forgot the name of the raccoon. Benji. Yeah, Benji. They were on a mission to infiltrate this, charity ball or something that's being held by Eden Corp. And they were gonna try to hack something or another in order to get some access to some vital intel that they need. Because they're trying to take down a corporation. And I believe that at the end of the update, something went wrong where an alarm was triggered by somebody while Benji and Oz were doing their little hacking thing, while Adrian was supposed to be, I guess, keeping everyone busy, like all the attendants and everyone. So we're going to be seeing the aftermath of that. And we're going to be seeing it in a bit of a comic style. That's as much as I know. And what I mean by that is, just think of like the Glory Hounds, how they have sort of their comic sections. You're going to be seeing a lot of that in the next part, which I believe was meant to sort of condense more or less what is going to happen to make it more dynamic, I guess. So yeah, I don't know how long this update is going to be, considering how long it's taken to make, but because it does require a lot of drawings, you could sort of throw them a bone there. But yeah, I'm excited to read this, because this was one of my favorite stories when it originally came out, when I was reading it. But yeah, it's been 2 years, so... Ugh. Let me see the gallery jogs any memories. So yeah, we have Adrian with his friend. I forgot the name of the kangaroo. There was the party, there's Oz with my favorite tiger. Oz with Adrian, giving him the headphones. There's the tiger's sister. They were discussing, I think, the ball or something like that. Then there's Oz training with the tiger. Then he's right here. Oz is showing off for Adrian. Then right there, Benji is teaching him how to shoot. And then Adrian getting a physical. And yeah, this is where they're all dressed up to go to the charity ball. And then we have what I would call, I guess, one of the antagonists right there. Anyways, but yeah, so without further ado, let us continue Eden's Reach. A few minutes go by with Ray and I trying our best to distance ourselves from the group of lions. I'm not sure if they have us figured out, but I'm not going to risk it at all. I pretend to be busy with the sound panels and Ray does the same with the bar. A few lions pass by, but Diego lingers a bit and leans on one of the foundations of the stage. Ugh, this is so boring. Why'd I even let him rope me into this job? I glance his way, and our eyes meet a bit. I flinch a little and quickly look downwards as my muscles tense slightly. You agree with me, right? Shit, he's talking to me again. I manage to give him a sheepish nod, to which the lion scoffs to himself. Guess you're too busy looking prim for these folks, eh? Well, guess there ain't no decent combo to be had here. Suddenly his form stiffens, quickly focusing on his hearing. He steps off the foundations and looks above. The chandeliers seem to be lightly swaying. He squints to protect his eyes from the dust particles falling off the metal poles on the ceilings. Suddenly the alarms start blaring and the crowd enters a confused panic, inching away before going on a full sprint towards the doors. I'm taken aback as well. the blaring reds of the alarms I didn't know existed, putting me in a bit of a daze. A grip fastens itself on my arm and my gaze directly falls onto Ray. Come on, you gotta get out of here. He pulls on my arm to convince me to come with him, but his hold loosens when a familiar form appears before us, followed by a trail of yellow light. It was a Fennec. His outfit completely changed to something with a familiar emblem. The Omega sign. This Fennec is part of the Omega squad. Guard the perimeter. I'll evacuate the civilians. Diego nods before the Fennec disappears again, with that same yellow trail. I look behind me expecting Ray to be there, but he's nowhere to be found. Husky, get your ass off the floor and... Roland all of a sudden shouts from a distance. Diego, get to cover! Diego does a double take on Roland and me. Stay low. I'll tell you when the coast is clear. Diego pounces for a nearby table and hoists himself upwards, vaulting over it as a storage room door bursts open. Metal clangs on the marble flooring, with smoke trailing as they fall. Two silhouettes emerge from the smoke as I lay low under the sound panel desk. I peek on the top of the panel for a moment only to see Benji donning his mask, and who I assume to be Oswald, who's done away with his tuxedo and into an entirely different outfit that I haven't seen him in before. His red tattoo glows vibrantly against the red alarms. Its glow remains against the weakened power lines which cut off the alarm system. So much for a classy exit. I look around me, glancing towards a crouched down Diego, who was looking at me intensely. He mouths a few words at me before tightening his lean on the table. Stay hidden. He slowly peeks through the corner of the table before eyeing me again. He then readjusts his position to face me, looking intent to bolt towards me. I gulp and brace for what I expect is going to be the most intense impact of my life. He takes a deep breath and... he violently rushes towards me in the motion of reaching for me under the sound panels. I close my eyes tightly, hearing only his muffled footsteps quickly approaching. Then I hear a loud bang come from the opposite side. Did Oswald shoot that? I hesitate to open my eyes, unsure whether I'll see a body in front of me. I open one eye and see a blurry figure hunched over. With my fear slowly being realized, I open my eyes fully. To my surprise, he's still breathing. There was another figure standing tall in front of Diego, a bullet trapped in between his fingers. It was the Fennec Fox, who began to twirl the empty bullet on his knuckles. You're welcome. Suddenly, Roland peeks from the cover even further back. Diego! Before the older lines, presence sinks in for me. Another loud bang comes from the other side, and the Fennec reacts in no time, disappearing once more in a flash. Before I managed to even blink, the Fennec was already holding the other bullet in his hand. He glares at Oswald and Benji, just as the wolf unloads the empty casing from the chamber before quickly firing 2 consecutive shots. Both bullets are blocked in the same way as the previous 2. The Fennec then drops all the bullets onto the floor. How barbaric. I look back at Oswald and Benji. The two hastily move to find cover. Then I inch towards them, making sure Diego doesn't see me doing so. That Fennec's fast. Unnaturally fast. A safe bet to assume that that's our Omega Squad pain in the ass. Doesn't matter. If he can shoot, he's another kill. Bullets aren't gonna hit him that easily though. Not while he's focused. Go the long way around, distract him. Make sure to watch my back then. Benji sighs before he peeks through the opposite corner of their cover. The Fennec in contrast balances on top of one of the appended tables proudly. Well then, you two must be part of that group that's been causing trouble for us, Whatever it is you plan on doing, it ends here. All thanks to me, Vayu, the shooting star. Before Vayu could finish his flourish, Oswald shoots once again. This causes the Omega Squad member to dodge sideways as that yellow trail envelops his form. His speed and agility, he's able to go from one point to the next in a blink of an eye. Is this what Alice meant when she said that the Omega Squad is filled with super soldiers? Tss, arrogant little prick. Oswald lowers back to his cover, loosening his grip on his rifle. He tosses it up in the air. It displaces into hard light before the lion manages to see it. I peek a bit to the side, and that's when Oswald's head tilts in my direction. No fucking way. Oswald! Suddenly, bullets start chipping off the corners of the table, thinning out Oswald's cover. He responds right away by sticking a device onto the underside of the table, coating it in a hard light shield. What do I do? Oswald taps his tattoo again, a new gun appears on his hand shortly after. Just try not to get in the way, and don't die. The wolf peeks again, observing the impromptu battlefield before them. 3 rows of lions, presumably called Roland and Diego, now litter the building. Oswald lowers once more, spinning his body to have his feet face the table. He then bends his knee, followed by a swift and forceful kick on the table, pushing it forwards in the direction of the lions. As the table flies, Oswald uses his free hand to push himself in the same direction. Incoming! Oswald's cover stops just a few inches from the first row of lions. Oswald's quick to act though. He raises the hard light behind him to extend from the side of the table towards the ceiling. He repositions himself with haste, already ready to fire. 2 lions peek out from their cover in tandem with Oswald. With very little hesitation, Oswald shoots. His bullets pass through the hard light from his side, while simultaneously deflecting the bullets on the other. Both lions fall to the ground, their blood oozing onto the marble flooring. Holy fuck. I suddenly feel very weak as I see the lions' lifeless bodies on the floor. Oswald just killed 2 men right in front of me without a second thought. Part of me wants to avoid all the bloodshed, to crawl up in a corner of the room and just ignore all the bullets flying around, but at the same time, I didn't have any time to process the rest of my thoughts at all as Oswald vaults over the cover of the first row, attaching the hard light emitter onto the other table. He twists it to face the other row. Before the hard light cover rises again, Oswald prepares to fire, however a barrage of bullets flies from the third row, several lions standing up to fire at the wolf, including Diego and Roland. The hard light breaks from the barrage, forcing Oswald to duck for imminent cover. The lions continue to shoot, but while they're focusing fire on Oswald, 2 of the lions fall to the floor all of a sudden. Coming from the corner of everyone's vision, a shadowed figure jumps from cover to cover. Their cloak is the only thing that signifies anyone being in the cover by the other side of the room. Benji! While the other lions have their focus on Benji, one of them from the second row starts rushing towards Oswald with a hard light shield. The lion vaults over the table, cornering Oswald within his cover. The wolf tries to shoot, but he's swiftly blocked and disarmed. I instinctively almost scream Oswald's name, but manage to stop. Grr, just stand down! Oswald doesn't speak as the shield continues to push down onto him. All of a sudden, he holds onto its rim with both hands. In one quick motion, he gets the shield out of the way and headbutts his assailant, putting them into a daze. In another short motion, he reaches for the rifle, which was only an arm's reach away, but the gun instead gravitates towards Oswald, landing perfectly in his grip. With his other hand, he takes the table behind him and lifts it with one hand before slamming it on the lion. He incapacitates them. The lion roars in pain, is cut short by Oswald's bullet flying straight through his forehead. While he's preoccupied with his assailant, the other lions from the third row take a stand and attempt to take a few shots at their enemy. As they shoot, however, none of their bullets manage to travel far as a golden trail weaves in between them and Oswald, seemingly catching the bullets mid-fight. Another set of lions arrives to shoot. Benji emerges from his cover as well, and they try to trade a few bullets, but the golden trail once again weaves in between the ensuing gunfight. When both sides were done, they both lowered back to their respective covers. I crawl closer to the central stage, giving me a bit of a visual on the lion's side. Vayu, what in blazes are you doing? From the golden trail materializes the Fennec, his hands full of bullets. He drops them, which results in the sound of hollow metal falling to the floor. Opening fire is a huge hazard. I'm trying to minimize any threats and hazards to the people, whether it comes from the intruders or from you, lions. Urgh. Vayu tugs onto his scarf, taking a breath before dashing once more into a signature golden blur. In an instant, he appears in the direction of Benji's cover. In one swift motion, he takes a raccoon and flings him with great speed into the open. The thief slams into the central stage, dazed. No more games from you savages. Time to come out of hiding. Diego, now! On it. Noticing the raccoon exposed, he rushes out of cover at full speed. Without hesitation, Oswald reveals himself intending to take a shot at Diego, but his vision is immediately obscured by Vayu, appearing in front of him. Caught you. Though the Fennec is smaller, it doesn't stop him from kicking Oswald clean in the face. Oswald stumbles to the right of the stage, somehow managing to keep a firm grip on his gun. Vayu is quick to react and disarm the wolf with another kick, forcing the wolf to loosen his hold and allow Vayu to fling the gun away. With Oswald distracted, Vayu restrains the wolf with a hard light blade. On the other side of the hall, Diego successfully catches Benji off guard, not allowing the raccoon to stand his ground with his gun. Benji attempts to push the lion off of him, but Diego is too strong. Both sides are in a deadlock for strength, and Benji needs something to change the tide in his favor. Come on, Adrian, think. What could tip the scales? I frantically look around for something to help. There is a metal pole next to me. No, I'll risk getting shot. Maybe the curtains? They might be too far for me to take them unnoticed. What can I use here? Suddenly I notice something from the corner of my eye. Benji's pistol. It's definitely within arm's reach, but there's only one pistol. I need to decide who needs it more. Who needs the gun more? I gotta even the odds. Oswald just needs an opening. I quickly reach for the pistol, flinging it to Oswald's direction. The wolf quickly takes notice of the gun, taking the Fennec by surprise as a hitman pulls him by his non-metallic arm. Oswald takes the pistol, aiming it directly at the Omega Squad member's face, causing Vayu to retreat backwards in a golden flash. Oswald reaches for his rifle, the gun floating to his hands as he immediately takes more shots towards his adversary, with Vayu retreating to a far-off cover. Meanwhile, Diego and Benji are still stuck in a deadlock. Diego tries his best to restrain the raccoon, but Benji doesn't budge at all. Suddenly a bullet pierces through Benji's shoulder, blood gushing through the hole. Roland shoots Benji to beat the deadlock. I had it under control. Diego lifts the now injured adversary before him, slamming the raccoon to the wall. You're welcome. Oswald hides behind cover, our intercoms powering up on my eyepiece. I'll cover you from the Fennec. Go help Benji. The wolf throws back the pistol my way. I quickly nod and crawl closer to Benji's position, the thief now helplessly suspended in the air by Diego's grip. I quickly take some cover close to Benji, the raccoon struggling to put up a fight. Roland and Diego quickly close in on their prey, their faces filled with now unbridled rage. It's quite intimidating to even stare at this whole situation, but at the same time, I can't take my eyes off of the raccoon while he's in danger. I quickly survey my surroundings once more, seeing if there's anything that I can use to help Benji. Of course, I had his pistol, and maybe a few quick shots will do the trick. There's also the sound panel that got dropped when the tables were all upturned. Though the wires are all jumbled now, it's surprisingly still working. I'll need to set it up again, and take some time before I could replicate the feedback from earlier. As I continue to find anything useful that could help Benji, the raccoon quickly screams in pain as a line pushes him deeper into the marble wall. I had to make up my mind fast. Maybe just hollering their way will be enough? Nah, come on, they trained you for this. Alright, just like how Benji taught you. Slow breath. Tension low. Keep your aim at the target. I can't stop myself from shaking as I straighten my aim at Diego, the closer of the two lions from me. He slowly sees me from his peripherals, and any hesitation in my head dissipates, replaced with fear of what could happen if I don't pull the trigger. So I did. The lion roars as blood gushes from his shoulder, serving as a good enough distraction for Benji to slip away from the lions. I couldn't even process moving when Vayu quickly appears before me and tosses me out of the cover. In one swift motion, both of my arms are locked in hard-light restraints, my attempts to stand forcibly stopped by the Fennec's surprisingly strong step. A third nuisance, it seems. Shame it was to be a husky, bunched up with a raccoon of all things. He's not. Silence. They'll be joining you soon. From the distance, I hear the faint scream of a familiar voice. Adrian! I can see Benji's feet, each step reverberating through the floor. He stands tall in the open field, outside of any cover. I hear the lions trying to raise their weapons, ready to shoot, but the Fennec quickly stops them. I said no guns, you numbskulls! You can't get that in your... A firm step from Benji interrupts the Fennec. Tss, fast fucker. Time to level the playing field. Benji drags the soles of his shoes on the floor repeatedly. Vayu's hold on me only tightens as his foot on my back puts more force on it. Alright. Benji kneels, striking a pose very similar to sprinters in an Olympic race. Soul Drifters, activate. In an instant, a sudden burst of wind blows across us, the impact catching the Fennec off guard. As the weight of his foot loosens on me, I feel something lift me during the chaos. It was Benji, who was already on the move. The second Vayu and the lions were able to recover. Hey! Hang on tight, Adrian. Suddenly there was a whirling below me that got louder and louder, with both Benji and I getting propelled forward in tandem with it. For that second, I drifted just a bit from the raccoon's back, but my restraints dissolved with it. My reflexes pushed me to hold onto Benji before both of us went flying across the other end of the building. What's going on? Oh, fuck! Benji and I are moving so fast that everything was a blur, and none of the pillars and walls stopped our momentum. We'd swerve with great precision and even latch to any walls that he could to get his hands on, each motion coursing through my entire body. Ooh, what is this? It's my shoes. They're like really high-grade roller skates. Now hold on, I'll distract him. Benji uses one of his skates to take a quick turn towards the lions. The raccoons unwaveringly tunnel-visioned onto a straight trajectory. From my peripherals, however, Vayu quickly shows himself, lunging to grab hold of me and Benji. Despite that, Benji presses on, causing the Fennec to miss by a few inches. That Brainiac's inventions better work. From Benji's flowing coat, the raccoon takes out 2 canisters. He gives them a quick shake before tossing them at Roland and Diego's feet. Both canisters explode in a cloud of smoke, spreading even after that. Holy crap, smoke bombs? The Catsume tech. Lifted at my doorstep just before this whole fuckfest. Now put your mask on. I do as he says and activate my mask, causing it to materialize on my muzzle. Once that was done, Benji quickly turns around back in the direction of the smoke cloud. As we make a slingshot of ourselves into the fray, Vayu appears in front of us, clear annoyance and anger on his face. Alright, that's it. You idiots are gonna know your fucking place. Vayu rushes at us in a golden trail, but Benji doesn't falter. Instead, he leans down as he flings me upwards, causing a gap to form between us. As Vayu materializes at the end of this trail, he misses again, caught in the gap between the two of us. In one quick motion, Benji flings another canister at the Fennec and grabs me, leaving me little time to react as we enter the smoke cloud. Holy shit! How did you do that? He's blinking around, as a sign of his endpoint. Just had to figure out where it was. Now let's leave him in blazes, Adrian. Right. We accelerate as Benji's shoulder pockets light up, the openings trailing smoke as well. Wherever we go, we left a trail of smoke behind us, the raccoon leaping into the air to avoid the tables as they come into view. Before I know it, we are out of the cloud, Benji holding 2 canisters in each hand. Oswald, target practice! From our side, Oswald peeks out of his cover, with Benji flinging 1 canister after another into the air. Oswald quickly takes shot of them. The bombs explode in midair. The clouds envelop the center of the hall, with Benji turning around once more. He begins to circle the large smoke cloud, the smoke following the wind that blew past us. A few rounds slowly turn the cloud into a twister of smoke, further disorientating Vayu and the lions. When all's said and done, Benji stops spinning around, sliding past Oswald's side. Come on, let's get out while they're disorientated. Benji drops me down gently as we all make our run for the back entrance on the ground floor. We quickly reach it without a hitch, which is a relief given how the rest of the mission went. As Benji flings the door open, Corvus was there waiting for us in the alley. Evening, Corvus, open the doors! To be continued. That was short. But honestly, I'm kind of glad that Eden's Reach is back. So, we got our glance at the first Omega Squad member, which I have like a vague memory of them being mentioned. Oh, I hit the mic. And it's clear that they're probably like the biggest threat for the group for now, or I guess at the moment. And it's going to take a lot more than just some training and target practice for Adrian to be of any like of any use, I guess. I mean, he did save Oswald and Benji. And you know, Benji was able to get up and help Adrian escape. And we did get a bit of a glimpse into Oz's sort of more killer side. I believe that I think in an earlier part of the story, or maybe like before this, Adrian saw Oswald getting a little bit more heated than usual, which kind of scared him a bit. And if you recall, Oz is sort of kind of Adrian's love interest, and there he is killing people right in front of him and acting kind of cold, telling him like, hey, just stay out of the way and don't get killed. It just might be like him just getting in the zone, you know, to do what he has to do. But it's like a little concerning. But yeah, Benji is the one that's a bit more like more in the moment, not in the like just dead set on like, I'm gonna kill everyone here. Benji's all like, we kind of need to get out of here. Come on, dude. But yeah. Anyway, so what are your thoughts? Are you excited for Eden's Reach to finally be back? You know, write down in the comments. And thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Eden's Reach or, you know, stay up to date with it, its development, or support it, there will be links down in the description. I believe, I mean, they're probably still on Twitter, but I believe that they might be on Bluesky now. And as you can see, they do have a Ko-fi in case you want to support them. They do have a Discord in case you want to speak with them, or like people reading the visual novel and say like, hey, look, I'm so excited. Keep writing. Please don't go on hiatus for 2 years again. But yeah, I do know that the visual novel is going to get a bit of an update, at least for the sprites. I believe that while Tapioca or Tappy was working on some new sprites, or at least updating the sprites a little, if I recall correctly. But yeah, so I mean, they also have a visual novel that they're gonna be bringing out to themselves. It's gonna be in Spanish, and I'm gonna read it. Yeah, I'm gonna be reading a visual novel in Spanish. But yeah, anyways, so oh yeah, channel members. Do you want to become a channel member? Help support the project. Help support the channel. Become a channel member. That you should see the thing underneath the video if you're on desktop or mobile or a tablet or whatever. Um, you know, help support the channel. Get to watch these videos ahead of time as they're being scheduled. You can also support me through Ko-fi in case that's not available for you, or just whatever. Also have a throne. Also, there was something else that I needed to mention, but I forgot. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. Whatever. Must not have been important. Anyway, so yeah, I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.